All right, everybody, welcome to the Chapter 6, Section 5 video on applying systems of linear equations. So we've been working with systems. We have these three different ways to solve now with substitution, elimination, and graphing. And the hard part sometimes is you deciding which of those methods you should choose. So we're going to work on that a little bit today. First, to determine the best method, I think this chart does a good job of kind of walking you through how you could decide which would be the best method. If you're looking for an estimate of solutions, graphing is good because there's sometimes that it won't give you an exact solution. You know, we give you some easy problems where they come out perfectly on a coordinate plane. But if we were talking about real life stuff, a graph is usually not going to give you an exact solution. So if you just need an estimate, you could use that. Substitution is really easy to use if one of the variables in either equation already has a coefficient of 1 or -1, because then it's very easy to solve for that variable. Elimination using addition if one of the variables has opposite coefficients in the two equations. Subtraction if one of the variables has the same coefficient in two equations. Or multiplication if none of the that's like the, it works every time and it can work in any scenario. If none of the coefficients are 1 or -1 and neither of the variables can be eliminated, then you want to go ahead and use multiplication and then eliminate. Okay. Substitution and elimination are algebraic methods for solving. An algebraic method is best if you're looking for an exact solution. Okay, graphing good for an estimate. So, determine the best method to solve this system and then solve it. So, we look at it, and this is where hopefully you start noticing things. Okay, neither of the coefficients are the same. We do have y right here all by itself. So this would make sense here to do substitution. Now, you could do other stuff, but substitution works pretty well. Some of you might be thinking, well, I can just multiply everything by 4 and do elimination, and that's fine. But I think this is really, we're just practicing on how you can kind of save yourself some time and energy and effort and all that. So that's the best there is probably substitution. And then using our graphing calculator to check. So we're going to do some of that in class. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that in class because for you TI people it's a little bit more complicated. For Casio people, as usual, it's going to be much easier. So let's do this. Let's take 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D and pick your method that you're either best at or that you think will be most useful, and then use that method to solve each of those, then I'll give you some answers when you get back. Go ahead and pause the video now and try those 4 problems. Okay, so first I'm going to walk you through, I used elimination on all of them except for D. D I used substitution, okay? But here I eliminated, and here I eliminated, okay? On the answer to 1A is -1, 1. The answer to 1B is -2, 1. 1C is 2, -7. And D is 3, -2. Now, if you didn't get one of those answers, and you didn't use the method that I used, go back and try the method that I used and see if you have an easier time. If you did the method that I chose and you still didn't get it, check your signs. That's usually where our mistakes lie with elimination and substitution is in sign error. So check your signs on each of these. Just remember that these are all points. If you still don't get it, make sure you make note of it, and we will go over that one together in class. Okay. We can apply systems of linear equations to problems. It's important to analyze each solution in the context of the situation. All that means is if we're talking about length and width, make sure your answers make sense for length and width. Our answers need to have context. So, if we're talking about height and you solve it and you get -10, well, I don't know of anyone who's -10 feet tall, so that's not going to make any sense. So just make sure your answers make sense for the context of what we're talking about. This example talks about for those that don't know, there are 17 species of penguins in the world. The largest, of course, is the emperor penguin, made mostly famous by Happy Feet. One of the smallest is the Galapagos penguin. The total height of the 2 penguins is this, and then the emperor penguin is 22 centimeters more than twice the height of the Galapagos. Find the height of each penguin. So we set this up. We set up the 2 equations, and let's see. They used elimination, and then you substitute that back in, and we have the heights of the 2 different penguins. Okay, and it's easy to check by verifying. So what we want to do is we want to set up something for Jared and Clementine for volunteering. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, so first we want to look at, we have Jared with 50 hours, and he plans to volunteer 3 hours in each of the coming weeks. So we can write for Jared, his total hours are going to be the 50 he already has, plus 3 hours each week. Okay, now if you don't want to use X and Y, you don't have to use X and Y. Clementine's a new volunteer, so she has nothing here to start like Jared did, but she plans to volunteer 5 hours each week, so her total hours are going to be Y equals 5X. It's not a bad idea to write like Y is total hours, and X is number of weeks. Okay? So, write and solve a system of equations to find how long it will be before they have volunteered the same number of hours. So, we have our 2 equations set up. Go ahead and pause the video here, solve this system, and find out how long till they have volunteered the same number of hours. Go ahead and do that right now. All right, you have unpaused. Hopefully you got 25 weeks. Okay, if you didn't, try again. If not, if still can't get it, make sure you make note of it, and we will go over that one together in class. I got some practice problems right here for you to try, just 1 through 5. We'll check these in class, but go ahead and pause the video and try those. Any of them that are too hard, just skip it. Go to the next one. We'll do them in class, but I'd like you to try, at least try all 5. All right, that's it for the notes. Real short and sweet today. I will see you guys in class. Bye.